Kev, with Game 4 taking place Tuesday night, do the Miami Heat close the series out and get a 4-game sweep against the Boston Celtics to advance to the NBA Finals?
To be completely honest, I believe this ends in a sweep for a multitude of reasons. First and foremost, the Miami Heat wanted more. Game 3 showed it. This is why I always say that hard work, dedication, and grit are going to just beat out talent. On paper, the Boston Celtics are so much better than the Miami Heat. You have Tatum, you have Brown, Smart, Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, so many amazing, incredible players on this team, right? And a pretty solid bench, and a head coach who took over for Ime Udoka at 34 years of age. And nobody really said anything when Boston was kind of popping off in the regular season. Nobody was calling for his job. Nobody was saying that, like he was incompetent, he was inexperienced, that he didn't know what he was doing. And then all of a sudden, Boston starts to lose. And suddenly he's lost the locker room. Suddenly he has no concept with adjustments. He doesn't know how to coach a team. This roster was totally fine last year. Ime Udoka got the best of them. But everybody was saying during the regular season in the first 2 rounds, oh, who needs Ime? This roster is loaded enough. Nobody was saying anything when Jason Tatum dropped 51 points in Game 7 of the semifinals. Nobody was saying anything when Malcolm Brogdon won Defensive Player of the Year. Nobody was saying anything when Jaylen Brown was slowly becoming...
Sixth man of the year. Sixth man of the year.
Sixth man of the year. Excuse me. Thank you very much. Nobody was saying anything when Jaylen Brown was emerging as the potential fourth quarter scorer of the Boston Celtics throughout the postseason and the end of the regular season. Now, typical Boston sports, they got to have a scapegoat, right? All these major sports teams, just like Doc Rivers in Philadelphia, just like Monty Williams in Phoenix, everybody has to have a scapegoat. And it just so happens that happens to be the head coach of the Boston Celtics. We're focusing on the wrong things here. Let's not focus on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown turning the ball over. Let's not focus on the fact that their shot selection was atrocious. Let's not focus on the fact that they're unable to keep the ball away from Miami in terms of turnovers. Let's not focus on the fact that your players aren't getting back on defense. Let's not focus on the fact that you're playing terrible transition, offense and defense. But it's Joe Mazzulla's fault. Mazzulla, right? Joe Mazzulla? Am I getting that correct? I'm probably butchering that.
I mean, you keep going. I'll look it up real quick. Yeah, it's Mazzulla.
Yeah. So I find it comical, again, in the NBA particularly, that it's always the head coach's fault when players aren't performing. He said in the media, I believe yesterday after the game, I didn't get the most out of them. I didn't prepare them. Again, doing what a head coach is supposed to do. Taking the blame, acknowledging that it's his fault. The buck starts with him. Everything that a head coach is supposed to say. But now people are calling for his job. Now the New England media is calling for him to be dismissed. Now people are asking for a new head coach. Kind of funny, right? Because you're number 2 in the Eastern Conference all year round. Jason Tatum is all NBA first team. Marcus Smart wins Hustle Player of the Year. Malcolm Brogdon wins Sixth Man of the Year. Nobody said anything all season. Maybe Boston just underestimated Miami. Maybe Boston thought that they can get over it. I mean, Jaylen Brown said a bunch of guys are beating us that shouldn't, and kudos to them, or guys that we should be able to contain. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote. But the point of the matter is you're getting run off the floor by 7 undrafted free agents. The point of the matter is you're getting run off the floor by 33-year-old Jimmy Butler. The point of the matter is they don't have Tyler Hero. They don't have Victor Oladipo. Udonis Haslem is basically the ultimate cheerleader, and he's getting chance to come into a game that you guys are getting blown out by 20-plus points, 30-plus points. What is your excuse? Because when you take the coaching aside, I don't want to hear it. You don't want it. You have no effort. You have no drive. Jimmy Butler's in your head. And you're just getting outperformed by players like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, who was benched for the last season and a half because he couldn't defend or get anything going offensively. Caleb Barton, who J. Cole had to save his career when getting cut by Charlotte. What are we talking about here? You have so many notable named actual NBA players, former All-Stars, All-Pros, and you're still losing. I don't want to hear it. Boston always has excuses. All Boston sports always have excuses. Oh, the Patriots. Well, it's got to be Mac Jones and not Matt Patricia. Oh, in New England, it's got to be in Boston, it's got to be Joe Mazzulla. For the Red Sox, it's got to be Alex Cora. It's got to be so-and-so. It's got to be this. The Bruins, number one ranked all-time NHL offensive team. Number one ranked team all-time in NHL total record, right? They lose in the first round to the Panthers, which, by the way, the Panthers are about to go to the Stanley Cup. They're 2 games away from that. So just let that marinate, right? Typical Boston fans, always complaining and never blaming the players. Miami wants it more. They're hustling. They're playing with more grit, more passion. They're scoring at an efficient clip. They're shooting at a better clip. They're attacking the paint. And they're playing aggressive on defense. Those are playoff basketball tendencies. Those are playoff basketball traits. So I expect Miami to close this out because Boston needed game 3. And if not to get game 3, to at least make it competitive. They got mollywopped. Absolutely embarrassed. There's no room for error of that magnitude at this stage in the postseason. This isn't the first round. This isn't the play-in tournament. This isn't game 1 of the semifinals. This is game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. You're already down 2-0 on your enemy's home floor. You got run off the table. Basically, halfway through the third quarter, you had given up. You waved the white flag as the second half started. And now you go into game 4 down 3-0, and no team has ever come back from it. So I expect Miami to go out here, and I expect the momentum to continue, the shooting performance to continue, and Jimmy Butler to continue to troll the entire Celtics organization. So Tobias Harris over Jimmy. Tobias Harris over Jimmy. That quote's got to be singing in Philly's head, man, because this man, Jimmy Butler, is about to will the Miami Heat with these random no-name players into an NBA Finals berth.